Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today between the Cincinnati Reds and the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Monday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, superstar stud Ellie De La Cruz. And on the right, one of the best center fielders in the game, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Now let's get into the starting lineup here first for the visiting Cincinnati Reds. Leading off for the Reds at shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz. Batting second, playing first base, Sal Stewart. Batting third, playing left field, J.J. Bleday. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, right fielder, Spencer Steer. Batting fifth, the former Seattle Mariner, Eugenio Suarez. Batting sixth, catching today for Cincinnati, Tyler Stevenson. Batting seventh, playing center field, Dane Myers. Batting eighth, playing second base, Edwin Arroyo. And batting ninth, playing third base, Key Brian Hayes. And on the mound for the Reds with a 5-5 record, ERA of 4.11, it is Andrew Abbott. And now let's get into the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners tonight in left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, playing center field, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, DHing for Seattle, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing first base, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting sixth, playing second base, Cole Clutch Young. Batting seventh, playing right field, Victor Robles. Batting eighth, playing third base, Buddy Kennedy. And batting ninth, shortstop, the phenom, happy birthday, number 21, Colt Emerson. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 7-8 record, ERA of 3.76, it is Furious George. It is George Kirby. Tridents up. Let's go M's. J.P. Crawford was a late scratch about 45 minutes ago. He was going to lead off, and Emerson was out of the lineup on his birthday, but they made the change. They haven't really designated if there's any type of sickness or injury with J.P., so we'll follow that story closely. Don't think it's anything serious. Otherwise, they would have mentioned it on social media. I'm not really sure if I like the fact that Randy is leading off. Dominic Canzone in the 3-hole, kind of felt like a smart move, maybe a few weeks ago. But the way that Cole Young has been playing, he should be in the 3-hole rest of the season. And again, I'm a little confused, why Cal Raleigh is in the 4-hole, Naylor's in the 5, and Young is in the 6. Young has proven that, he can hit anywhere in the order, but he needs to be able to get that extra at-bat. And if I'm running the team instead of Dan Wilson, I'm putting our most clutch hitter in the 3-hole for the rest of the season, and we'll see if they end up putting him there in the future. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners. Coincidentally, 50-50 with our record right now, but it's not what we do in those first 100 games. It's what we do in the last 62. Hopefully we go 40-22 and get to that 90 win number. But again, this legend and icon is retiring after the season. We want to make sure we go out with a bang for the legend, the one, the only, one of my favorites of all time, Rick Riz. We love you. All right, baby. Got blown out without Julio, 7-0 in game 1 versus the Giants, won the next 2 games because of Cole Clutch Young and others. And we definitely feel confident as long as Julio and Young are in the lineup, we know we're going to have a great chance to be able to win these games. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday evening. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. KW in the building. What's good? Hawks in the building. What's good? Jerry and Daniel are in the building. How are you? Andrea's in the building. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And we're only 0.5 behind the Rangers. So it just feels it's just a matter of time, before we end up being in first place and we don't look back. Now, will it end up being close, in these last 62 games between us, the Rangers, and the Astros? Probably. These teams can get hot, at different times. It also depends if you're at home or on the road and who you're playing, obviously. But again, with a team like Cincinnati, 45-53, 23-25 on the road, they've struggled a little bit early in the year, but then they beat up the Rockies recently, so they're probably pretty confident. But this is definitely a series that we could potentially win 2 out of 3. And if we win the first 2 games, we might actually be able to get the brooms out and potentially sweep. But obviously pitching has to be good. Bullpen has to be good. And on top of that, we need to get to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And hopefully we can rely on guys like Julio and Cole Clutch Young to do what they do best. And that is being clutch. All right, baby, I am ready. Let me get situated with all my screens. Hope everyone had a great day here this Monday afternoon/evening. And we got Ellie De La Cruz stepping up into the box. Let's go, George. And again, we need Kirby and Wu, to get back to where they were. First pitch is fouled off the catcher there, Cal Raleigh. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour there by George. 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. 50-50 record, and again, we usually are a very hot team in the second half. 0-1 pitch, low and away, sweeper missing, 85 miles an hour there by Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ellie De La Cruz. Alex in the building, Tridents up. How are you? 1-1 pitch, little dribbler, and it ends up going towards first base and foul. Change up, 88 miles an hour there by George Kirby. Elliot De La Cruz in the box, and furious George Kirby on the mound. 7-8 record, ERA of 3.76 for George, and that's definitely not what we were expecting, this season. Same thing with Wu. Those guys have been a little bit worse. Hancock and Miller have been better than expected. And then obviously, as we know, Logan is Logan, usually in the top 3, and that's where he's at right now, at the top, with Bryce Miller, and Castillo obviously will be a trade candidate at the deadline, being 6 of 6. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Count now is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to De La Cruz. And Gino was, spending a lot of time with the former teammates, obviously in pregame, a lot of photos and videos and hugs and daps. Great to be able to see Gino in the building. 3-2 pitch, low and at the knees, and a rough start there. George is not really a guy that walks a whole lot of batters, but again, this hasn't really been a traditional George Kirby type of year. Same thing for Brian Wu. They've been a little bit worse than expected, but hopefully they can tear it up in the second half of the season. All right, De La Cruz going to first with a walk. We might need a double play early to bail out George. Next up, the phenom, first baseman Sal Stewart. On deck, the former Athletic J.J. Bleday. First pitch to Stewart, jams him into foul territory. And Naylor hustling, but can't actually get to that ball in time, unfortunately. And that is an 0-1 count. but a great hustle. We could only dream if Randy would do the same, if it was in foul territory in his area. And obviously we know Naylor isn't the fastest, but he almost ended up getting that just off the tip of the mitt. But again, it's all about effort and hustle, and again, it's all about showing that you care more about yourself. You care about the team overall. And again, hopefully Naylor will be able to make a few of those plays later in the game. Great hustle there by Josh, even though he just missed that foul ball. Oh, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss there by Sal Stewart. Four-seam fastball, high and away, 97 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first, De La Cruz with no outs. Mando in the building, what's good? All day in the building, what's good? Tridents up, let's go M's. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, let's go. First punch out there for George Kirby. Way to respond after walking De La Cruz and getting the rookie phenom Sal Stewart out. Good job. Next up, the former Athletic left fielder, J.J. Bleday. Cool photo with Gino giving him a little high five after a home run, but hopefully we don't get any home runs by Bleday in this series. First pitch in there to J.J. Bleday. Sweeper in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Double plays are encouraged and welcomed. 0-1 pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Bleday. Power Code in the building, what's good? One pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Bleday. So JP Crawford was supposed to be the leadoff hitter, but he was a late scratch about 45 minutes ago. That's why Randy is leading off, which is not really ideal, but we'll see what, happens here tonight. And I don't like the fact that Cole Young moved down from the 3 spot. I think Cole Young has, earned the right, to be in the 3 hole for the rest of the year. But obviously this is Dan Wilson, not someone that is competent. You have to realize, who's hot and who's good for your team. And, we know Dom was hot earlier in the year, but he's been on a little bit of a slump. And you got to be able to recognize who's doing well and who isn't. Pitches outside, 3 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Bleday. Runner goes, and De La Cruz with the stolen bag. And luckily, Emerson and Young end up picking up that ball. And that throw by Cal Raleigh was a little wide right there. And again, a lot of the throws by our catchers haven't really been on point. They've been all wide right. We have seen a few, by Garver, Cal Raleigh, and Johnny Pareda when he was on the team that have been, right on, but again, another weakness, kind of in the team. We haven't really been running the bags well this season and throwing guys out, from the catcher position. We have not been very good this year either, at least compared to last year. De La Cruz at second now with 1 out, and we have another 3-2 count to J.J. Bleday. Three-two pitch. Popped up into shallow center field. Julio is there. And I love having Julio Rodriguez out there in the outfield, because we know Randy, we can't trust him all the time, there in left field. Pop-ups we can, but not ground balls. But we can trust Julio on ground balls and pop-ups and robbing home runs, and I'm just so happy that he's back on the squad. Nice job there in the no-fly zone by Julio Rodriguez. J.J. Bleday flying out to center, and that is 2 away. Next up in the 4-hole, right fielder Spencer Steer. 246 average, 16 homers, and 40 ribbies in 2026. First pitch right down the middle by Kirby to Steer. 0-1 count. Nice 97 mile an hour fastball, high heater right down the middle by Kirby. Hopefully we get somewhere in that 7 to 10K range out of Kirby today and pitches 6 or 7 innings. 0-1 pitch. Little dribbler towards third. Throw to first. And got him. Great throw by Buddy Kennedy, who's playing third base. And the original batting order had Colt Emerson out on his birthday. And I'm trying to think to myself, okay, Cole Young should be in the 3-hole. Obviously you want to make sure you're getting extra at-bats for your best players. Julio and Cole Young should be side by side, and obviously we know we had a dynamic duo in Julio and Cal last year, but as we know, Cal hasn't really, been good this year. He's been injured. He was overworked last year, but his timing is off. He's overly aggressive, and it still kind of baffles me that we have him so high in the batting order. Why is Cal Raleigh batting 4? Cal Raleigh should be batting 6th. And again, until he can prove that he can hit, but again, this is Dan Wilson. And again, sometimes not the most competent manager. You got to be able to adjust throughout the season. Facts. All right, let's go to the bottom of the first inning and let's see if we can get on the board here early. Great job there by Buddy Kennedy at third base. Next up, since we had the JP Crawford scratch, they haven't really mentioned if it was like a flu or if he was injured or if they were just, just going to give him the day off, but we'll see if they end up, talking about it later in the broadcast. So they decided to readjust the lineup leading off. Left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Not really sure if I like Randy leading off. I know he did it, after Victor Robles got hurt last year, and he has been our most consistent hitter for the most part, but still, I don't know if I like Randy leading off, but hopefully he makes, it worthwhile. Hopefully he doesn't go 0 for 4 or 0 for 5. Batting second, center fielder, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Perfect position for Julio. And batting third, it's the Italian Stallion, DHing Dominic Canzone. Now, I really like this move early in the year, but Dom has been kind of on a little bit of a slump, within the last 20, 30 games. And having Cole Young in the 3-hole would be smarter. But again, Dom there, it's probably the second best choice with the lineup that we have. So I guess we can't fully complain. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. We're going to bust out the Mariner Moose early. We don't have to be losing, to bust him out. We want to make sure we have good luck early and often. And first pitch there by Andrew Abbott. High and away, four-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 5-5 record, ERA of 4.11. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball. In right field, fading out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike from Andrew Abbott to Randy Arozarena. One pitch. Randy pops it up. Deep right field. And catches that on the foul territory right against the wall. Cameraman really didn't catch that very well with that angle, but we're getting a Supermo now. And wow, what a catch. And down goes Randy, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Spencer Steer with an incredible catch there. That's what we were hoping for with Josh Naylor in the top of the first, but he wasn't able to get to that ball, but Steer does. 1 up and 1 down. Next up, center fielder, it is Julio Rodriguez. First pitch to Julio, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. And we know Julio can have an impact on this squad. As soon as he came back, we ended up winning. And again, we have been continuing to win, and hopefully we'll be able to get him to raise the trident, like in this photo, sooner than later. 0-1 pitch, hard hit ball, laser towards third base and out of play. Highest percentage of home runs, 50.5%. Mariners are number 1 in MLB, and the Reds are number 2. So, we are the most home run dependent team in baseball, and, it definitely shows. When we don't homer, we typically don't win. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees, almost hitting Julio on the foot. Sweeper, 82 miles an hour there by Abbott. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. Trident's up. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Not a great at-bat there for Julio Rodriguez, swinging wildly at a changeup high and away, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Callie in the building, what's good? Tony in the building, what's good? And batting third, the DH, Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. First pitch right down the middle, taking a strike, 0-1 count. And the fact that JP is not in the lineup takes away our most patient hitter, but typically Dom and Cole, can fill that role hopefully today, and maybe it'll rub off on some of the other guys. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Sweeper missing there by Abbott. 81 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0, Reds and Mariners. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. Beautiful sweeper, painting the corner there, 82 miles an hour there by Andrew Abbott. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. 1-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 looking, and Dom is going to challenge. It looked like it painted the corner, but we'll see if it ends up just going just outside or if this is strike 3, but... And look how close that is. Wow. 0.1 from being strike 3. And Dom definitely gets incredibly lucky there. We'll take it. I mean, that's as close as a challenge can be without it being strike 3. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. 2-2 pitch from Abbott. Hard hit ball, deep left field, fading foul, out of play. Let's go, Dom. Yeah, he wasn't in the original lineup, Colt Emerson, turning 21 today, but since they scratched JP, he does get a chance to play on his birthday. Dom with a slow dribbler up the middle, throw to first, and that is 3 up and 3 down. All right, let's go to the top of the second inning and see who's up next here for the Reds. Next up for the Reds, in the 5-hole, the former Seattle Mariner, Eugenio Suarez. We love you, Gino. We miss you. Batting second in the 6-hole, catcher Tyler Stevenson. And batting third in the 7-hole, center fielder Dane Myers. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 51 subs to go to 24,500. Shout out to our female audience, all of our new subs, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Still waiting for our first dono on our dono train as we approach the top of the second inning. And let's see where we're at on the likes. We're at 39. Good start. 61 to go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And hopefully in the near future, if, Dan Wilson is smart enough, in about a week and a half, Brendan Donovan will be leading off. Julio will be in the 2-hole. And then if, Dan has a brain, he'll move Cole Young to the 3-hole. We know that Cole can bring, a little bit of coverage in the middle of the order that struggled for us this year. And he's great at the bottom of the order. But, again, he's a guy that could end up leading this team in home runs. And he's a second baseman, and he's not really, that physical, as far as, his appearance. And it really does show you how great Cole Young has been this season, offense and defense. And he's really starting to heat up. And you want to make sure you have, guys that can hit in the first 3 spots to be able to kind of set the tone early and often. First pitch from Kirby to Gino, 4-seam fastball, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and inside, 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Gino. One pitch in there for another strike to Eugenio Suarez. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour, high and away, big swing and a miss. 1-2 pitch, and Gino pops it up. Shallow right field, Robles is there, and that is 1 away. And down goes Eugenio Suarez. a guy that will always get, love from the Mariner fan base, good vibes only. And again, it's just great to be able to see Gino back. And he spent a lot of time with the Mariner teammates, early in the game. And you don't see that out of too many players, that have that connection. But Gino will always be loved by the Mariner fan base. Next up is Tyler Stevenson. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, low and away with the sweeper missing there by Kirby. 2 balls and no strikes from Kirby to Stevenson. Jason, Jacob in the building. What's good? Joe in the building. Callie and Tony in the building. 2-0 pitch, fouls that one off himself. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. Hopefully he's okay. It's kind of been a common theme this year, with, fouling a ball off yourself or, into the catcher, or into the ump. And especially in places where there's no padding, we definitely have seen some minor and major injuries, with that. And, I don't wish injuries on anybody. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Stevenson. 2-1 pitch. Four-seam fastball, low and away, painting the corner beautifully. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Stevenson. Rebecca in the building. How are you? Shout out to our female audience like Rebecca and Andrea, as well as the many others that are watching all over the globe. 2-2 pitch, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Stevenson. It's great to be able to see the female viewership, grow the way it has in the last couple years. 3-2 pitch. Hard hit ball, deep right field, fading out of play. Count still remains 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Stevenson. Like 3-4 years ago, we were about 5%. Now we're about 15 to 20% with the female audience, which is amazing, and again, maybe one day we'll be able to get it to 30% where it's 70-30. And again, it's just a great thing to be able to expand the viewership, all ages, from the kids to, middle age and to the seniors that watch this channel all over the globe. But, getting that female audience up was definitely a goal, and we definitely have exceeded that. Line drive into center field. Julio is there, and Stevenson flies out, and that is 2 up and 2 down. No fly zone in full effect. Nice job there by Julio Rodriguez. And it definitely shows you, Julio's impact is not just in the box and not just of his positive attitude and being a superstar. It's about what he does defensively. Ground balls, pop-ups, robbing home runs, and just his presence out there in center field. Closest thing to Ken Griffey Jr. that we'll ever have. First pitch with a sinker to Dane Myers is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-1 pitch, high and away. Good frame job by Cal, but not getting the call. Four-seam fastball just a tad outside. Was trying to paint the corner, but just couldn't get there. 96 miles an hour there by George Kirby on that previous pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the second, 0-0, Reds and Mariners. 1-1 pitch, four-seam fastball right down the middle. And Myers takes another strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Myers. One-two pitch, big swing and a miss. And that's the furious George that we love. Another punch out for Kirby, and I love it. And that is out number 3. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners in the bottom of the second inning. And hey, let's get on the board. What do you say? Next up for the Mariners in the 4-hole, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Now, if Cal was the Cal Raleigh of last year, you could have him batting 2, 3, or 4. But until he gets right, he should be batting in the 6-hole. But I guess Dan Wilson doesn't know what he's doing. Batting second in the 5-hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. And batting third, my favorite player, the most clutch player on the team, second baseman Cole Clutch Young, who's homered in back-to-back games. And if the other Mariner hitters aren't careful, Cole might end up being our leading home run getter for the Seattle Mariners, which would be insane. Let's go, Cole Clutch Young. $51 subs to go to 24,500. Shout out to our female audience, all of our new subs, all our regulars, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We are global. And we're still waiting on our first dono on our dono train. And let's see where we're at on the likes, as we have almost 200 in the room at the moment. We'll have a few Reds fans coming in that are regulars on the channel that will most likely be tapping in at some point in the series, if not tonight. And we're at the halfway point. We're at 51 likes. Good start. 49 to go. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. All right, Andrew Abbott on the mound, lefty, 5-5 record, ERA of 4.11. Nothing really to fear, obviously lefties we have not been the greatest, but maybe this will be good. I honestly feel, just the way that I've been watching Cal lately, I know he's stronger as a left-handed hitter rather than a right-handed hitter, even though he was massively improved on the right side last year, but it's been a lot of injuries and him, getting fatigued and whatnot. And, with all the things that have gone wrong, but just my inner gut feeling is that if he ends up homering, and we've been waiting for a long time for him to homer, I think from the right side, he has a better chance, just to give you something a little bit different. 2-0 pitch, fouls that one behind the plate. Not to say that he won't hit homers with the left. He's only at 9, so I'm hoping he can get to at least 20, before the season ends. But realistically, he might end up only with 15 to 19, unless he can end up hitting a couple, in one game. And we haven't really seen Cal multi-homer, obviously, that much this season, let alone homer at all. 2-1 pitch, in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Abbott to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Yeah, I mean, right now, I feel that Cole Young and Julio Rodriguez are the 2 best players on the team. So, and Julio is always going to be, the 1 or the 2, obviously with him and Cal Raleigh last year, and then obviously with him and Cole Young this year, in my opinion. Little slow dribbler, throw to first, Ellie De La Cruz, and he throws out Cal Raleigh, and that is 1 away. And I think it also shows you, that, there's a drop off, but it's not like Cal didn't get hurt multiple times. Now, if Cal was healthy and then he would be at the numbers that he's at right now, we'd be talking about, wow, this, big drop off. But it also proves that Cal should have won the MVP last year. We know Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani can win it every single year, but I think it really is going to show as the years go on, how hard it is to be able to get, over 50 home runs. And, as far as catchers, the most home runs a catcher ever got prior to Cal was only 48, and that was Salvador Perez, and he beat it by 12, by any catcher all time since baseball was created. So, again, there definitely was a bias against the Mariners and Cal Raleigh for MVP last year. Popped up at third, and that is 2 away. Down goes Josh Naylor. Ke'Bryan Hayes there making the out. Or if they didn't want to straight give it to Cal over Judge, then it should have been co-MVP. Then you would have made every Yankee and Mariner fan happy, or any Judge and Raleigh fan happy. And that's probably what they should have done last year. Judge's numbers were good, but you have to understand how great Cal's numbers truly were. Next up is Cole Clutch Young, who's homered in back-to-back games. Should be in the 3 hole for the rest of the year. But again, I'm not sure if Dan is bright enough to make that adjustment. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. Highest WRC for American League second baseman, even over leading vote getter in the American League, Ernie Clement. And again, Cole will end up being, in the All-Star game year in and year out, I assume starting next year. And again, he might end up having the most All-Star appearances, as we move forward, catching up to Julio sooner than later. 2-0 pitch popped up and out of play. But the thing about Cole that I love is that he's humble. He's got great family roots. Him and his mom have a great relationship. He's a great teammate. And he's a great defender. Offense is just getting better and better. He's just like the perfect, description of a second baseman that you would want on your team, if you ended up bringing up a second baseman. Cole Clutch Young. 2-1 pitch. And we got an ABS challenge here by the catcher. And they lose that challenge, thank God. Only one challenge left for the Reds and Stevenson. And the ball is confirmed. 3 balls and 1 strike from Abbott to Young. Jack in the building. What's good? You know, and again, it's all about guys that play offense and defense. Slow dribbler towards first and foul. And obviously the players that are the best at offense and defense are Julio and Cole Young, and they should be batting side by side. You know, that makes the most sense. And if you end up having the guys that, you know, that can produce the most, 1 through 3, at the end of the game, 1 through 3 might get a 5th at bat rather than a guy that's batting 6th, 7th, or 8th that might only get 4. And that's why Dan Wilson needs to have, you know, kind of like a Moneyball, you know, analytic expert in the dugout to kind of let him know, hey, you know, you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of guys when they're, you know, getting hot at the right time. 3-2 pitch, pop behind the plate and foul. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Abbott to Young. But Young is going to be the next guy. I feel the Mariners are going to, you know, be able to promote his jersey the same way that they promoted Cal Raleigh last year after Julio in his first couple years in the league. Young's jersey should be the next one. 3-2 pitch, high and away. Great patience in the box. And one of the most patient hitters on the team with Dom and JP, and Cole Young forcing a walk. And again, this player is so good. And I know it's early in his career, you know, but based on watching him and his attitude and him, you know, just getting better and better, you know, he potentially, you know, could end up being a Hall of Fame player one day. And I never would dare say something like that unless I really believed it. Next up is Victor Robles. And I know he's got a long ways to go, you know, before we end up talking about Hall of Fame for anybody on the Mariners, you know, but again, just based on what I've seen, offense, defense, attitude, you know, he's just got the total package. And we're not talking Lex Luger. First pitch is low and away. Curveball, 79 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball, little blooper into right. Nice! And Robles hasn't really been that great of a hitter, you know, after getting hurt, diving into the crowd and hitting his shoulder and arm and injuring it in San Francisco last year. Doesn't even have a home run yet this year, but that was a beautiful follow-through swing. And now we got runners at first and second with 2 outs. And let's see if we can get a miracle out of third baseman Buddy Kennedy. You know, and Buddy is not a great player. You know, I think that we, you know, feel maybe slightly more comfortable than Rob Refsnyder, but I mean, that's not really saying too much. But let's see if Buddy can come up with a walk, hit by a pitch, or if somehow, some way he can get lucky enough to get a single or double, and then he can end up giving us a 1 or 2-0 lead. Unless he ends up doing the ultimate, you know, hitting a 3-run bomb, but the chance of that happening is probably 1 in a million, but you never know. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abbott to Kennedy. One pitch, another ball there to Buddy Kennedy. Take the walk, Buddy. 2 balls and 1 strike from Abbott to Kennedy. Come on, Buddy. 2-1 pitch. And Kennedy pops up and out of play. We're going to make the playoffs. I'm feeling very confident of that. I don't know if we're going to win the division, you know, but, you know, getting the wild card at the very least in second place in the AL West, you know, would be the bare minimum. But obviously we're shooting, you know, for winning the division. And, you know, nobody as deep as us, you know, player for player besides the Yankees and the Rays. Those are our biggest threats. And we match up really well with the Guardians and the White Sox and the Rangers and the Astros for that matter. And that goes out of play, thank God, into the 5th row. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Abbott to Kennedy. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Bottom of the 2nd inning, runners at first and second with 2 outs, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and unfortunately Buddy Kennedy cannot get the RBI or get on base. And again, you know, not really ideal having Buddy Kennedy even play for that matter, you know, but it is what it is. But at least we ended up getting Cole Young on base with a walk. Robles ended up getting a hit, and hopefully that'll give us good vibes only moving forward, and we'll be able to get on the board in the next couple innings. All right, end of the second inning, 0-0, Reds and Mariners. Reds don't have a hit yet, and Robles got the first hit of the game. So obviously a pitching duel, so to speak, so far. All right, next up for the Reds, as we go to the top of the third, in the 8-hole, second baseman Edwin Arroyo. Batting second in the 9-hole, third baseman Ke'Bryan Hayes. And back at the top of the order, 0-for-0 with a walk, shortstop Elly De La Cruz. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 51 subs to go to 24,500. Gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. 50 subs to go to 24,500. 550 subs to go to 25,000. Let's go. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train, and let's see where we're at on the likes. We got 206 in the room. Hopefully we're creeping closer to that 100 number, and we are. We're at 68 likes, 32 more to go. Trident's up. Let's go M's. All right, Kirby, 2 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 32 pitches, 20 strikes, 3.70 ERA. And then for Andrew Abbott, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 35 pitches, 22 strikes with a 4.04 ERA. So they're kind of neck and neck, based off pitch count. Abbott with 3 more, but we'll see how it all kind of plays out as we move forward. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch from Kirby to Arroyo, line drive up the middle, past Colt Emerson, and it rolls to Julio, and Arroyo taking advantage of that pitch right down the middle. So now the Reds got their first hit of the game after we got ours out of Victor Robles, getting a little blooper into right moments ago. Edwin Arroyo taking a 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour right down the middle. Emerson is, wasn't necessarily out of position, but he just, couldn't get to that particular spot, and it rolled to Julio Rodriguez. Next up is Ke'Bryan Hayes. See if we can get a double play sooner than later. Ke'Bryan Hayes, line drive. Come on, Randy. And Randy gets it off a 1-hopper. And now we got runners at first and second with no outs. Now, if Randy would have dove, could he have gotten to this ball? Maybe, but again, he's never going to really dive for a ball like Julio or Victor Robles. Now we got Elly De La Cruz next, and we got to be very careful on how we pitch to De La Cruz. Runners at first and second with no outs. Got to get out of this jam. Got to get a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. Walk in the first with the stolen bag, 282 average, 16 home runs, and 45 ribbies there for Elly De La Cruz in 2026. 1-0 pitch from Kirby, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Kirby to De La Cruz. And, this has been an issue for Kirby and Brian Wu this year. At the beginning of the season, they were a little bit hotter, but as of late, they definitely have not been as good as we normally, have them, in the top 3, in the starting rotation. Right now, they're kind of on the back end with Castillo, believe it or not. Hancock has been better than, we expected coming into the year, but lately he's been kind of hit or miss. And then obviously we know Gilbert and Miller are probably our top guys for the moment, but that doesn't mean that these others can't catch up. Pitches high and away, 3 balls and no strikes to Elly De La Cruz. Come on, Kirby. 3-0 pitch, little line drive. Give me a double play. Give it to me. High throw. And the throw was too high by Josh Naylor to Emerson, and we only get the fielder's choice, and that is 1 away. Now we got runners at first and third with 1 out, and hopefully we can get the double play if possible. Unless Kirby's able to get a pop-up and a strikeout, or a ground ball out and a pop-up, we'll see. Next up, In the 2-hole, first baseman Sal Stewart with runners on the corners at first and third with 1 out. Got to keep them at 0 as long as possible. First pitch is low and away with that sweeper, 1-0 count. 253 average, 20 homers and 70 ribbies there by Sal Stewart. Breakout rookie for the Cincinnati Reds. One-0 pitch, fouled off and out of play. Sweeper right down the middle, 86 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Stewart. Come on, Ems. Try to ends up. Let's go, Ems. I mean, it's, normally the matchup would favor the Mariners and Kirby, but Kirby really hasn't been that good this year. Look at his record and his ERA. I mean, normally Kirby and Wu arguably are our top 2 guys, or at least top 3, with typically Logan Gilbert. But, Miller has exceeded expectations. Hancock has exceeded expectations. And, we just got to be able to try to get everyone on the same page, but I'm not really sure if there is an advantage for either pitcher today. 1-1 pitch. Tried to jam him and popped him up. And Robles is there. Runner is tagging up. Get him! Got him! What a throw! Wow! Incredible throw. How dare they try to tag up and score? And Victor Robles with a laser. Amazing. And that was going to be 1-0 if the throw wasn't on point. And Victor Robles saves us a run. Wow. That was probably the best throw that I've seen from an outfielder to Cal Raleigh at home all year. Nice job. And especially when, Kirby was starting to have a little bit of a meltdown, Robles bailing him out. Great job. Awesome. All right, let's see if we can now hopefully take advantage of that situation, and let's see if we can get an early 1-0 lead. Wow, incredible throw. I mean, I'm used to seeing Ichiro back in the day make that kind of throw, but, good thing it ended up going to, that area to Victor Robles or like Julio rather than Randy, because if it would have went to Randy, they would have easily scored. He wouldn't have even been able to get it to home, but at least we know that Victor and Julio will actually try to help this team win. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Next up for the Mariners, the birthday boy turning 21 today in the 9-hole, playing shortstop for JP today, Colt Emerson, the Phenom. Happy birthday, Colt. Batting second, 0 for 1, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, it is Julio Rodriguez. Try to ends up. Let's go, Ems. First pitch from Abbott to Emerson, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Four-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch in there for a ball to Colt. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abbott to Emerson. 1-1 pitch, hard hit ball towards first. Toe tap on the bag by Stewart, and that is 1 away. And if Colt can learn patience, and I will believe he will next season, obviously after he has a full season like Cole Young did, I assume that Colt will be drastically improved offensively. We already know he's a great defender, but we should see a huge jump in Emerson's game next season. But hopefully he'll be able to do something here on his birthday. Next up is Randy Arozarena. First pitch to Randy, hit right up the middle. Yes! Right past Arroyo. And nice job there by Randy Arozarena, getting a hit, a single right past Edwin Arroyo, the second baseman. All right, here we go. We got a runner at first, and we'll see if we can end up getting Randy to steal a bag without getting thrown out. Next up in the 2-hole, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And Julio's impact on this team, again, it's, when we have him, we win. When we don't have him, we typically lose. And he is so important to the vibe of this team, offensively and defensively. Throw to first, and Randy is safe. He's been injured all year, but he should be back in about a week and a half, and he'll be our new leadoff hitter and our new third baseman. Pitch is low and into the dirt. Change up 86 miles an hour. 1 ball and no strikes with a runner at first and 1 out, bottom of the third, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. And, things have not gone our way, with injuries and poor play and, poor managing, but Mooney is starting to heat up, which it never looked like it was going to turn around earlier in the year, but he's been lights out last 11, 12 appearances, not even giving up a run, which is great. Didn't even throw a ball in his last 2 starts. So again, he's been lights out. And again, it's just about, getting our, best players available, back on this lineup. And a lot of teams, if they didn't have their starting third baseman, they wouldn't be as good, let alone missing, a lot of our stars, have missed at least a few days to a week or 2 or longer, with hammies or other injuries. And, once we get full strength in August, when we get Brash, Criswell, and Vargas back, and hopefully we don't have any more injuries and we have Donovan back, I do believe we're going to go on a big heater as we make our postseason push. 1-2 pitch from Abbott to Julio. Little dribbler up the middle. Double play. Ellie De La Cruz, throw to first and safe. So they get the fielder's choice, but Julio hustling to first to prevent the double play. Good job, Julio. Next up is Dominic Canzone. And in this situation, it should be Cole Young. Again, you want to make sure you have your best hitters, batting 1 through 3. And, putting Cole in the 6 hole is, not smart. But, let's see if Dom can take advantage of being in the 3 hole. First pitch by Dom. Pops it up. Deep center field. And that is out number 3. And again, Dom was, pretty good, early in the season, but in the last 20, 30 games, he's definitely been slumping, for the most part, with Cal and Naylor and a lot of the guys in the lineup. Every once in a blue moon, you're going to get a home run, just like with him and Luke Raley, but it's all about consistency. And, some of these guys definitely need a little bit more of that. All right, end of the third inning, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. Both teams have no runs. Both teams have 2 hits. Both teams have no errors, and something's got to give. Next up for the Reds, in the 3 hole, left fielder 0 for 1, the former Athletic J.J. Bleday. Batting second, 0 for 1 in the 4 hole, right fielder Spencer Steer. And batting third, 0 for 1, the former Seattle Mariner in the 5 hole, Eugenio Suarez. Good vibes only. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 50 subs to go to 24,500. 550 to get to 25,000. Let's see how close we are with the likes. We got 220 in the room. And we're at 79. We're almost there. $21 more to 100. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. If we can get 21 people out of 210 to hit that like button, we'll be at 100. Shout out to our new subs, our female audience, as well as all of our regulars and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. 50th year anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, and we are 50 and 50, believe it or not. And again, this individual is going to be retiring after this season, so we want to make sure he goes out with a bang, and it's one of my favorites of all time, the one, the only, the legendary Rick Riz. We love you. All right, let's go to the top of the 4th inning, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. And Kirby's gotten himself into a few little mini jams, but luckily the defense has been able to bail him out. And hopefully, we'll be able to get at least a run on the board before the starting pitching exits. And, we find a way to win this game. We got to be able to keep our win streak alive. We're on a 2-game win streak after getting blasted 7-0 without Julio. And obviously without having Julio against the Marlins and Rays, we were only able to win 1 game in those 2 series. And it shows you how impactful Julio Rodriguez truly is. First pitch from Kirby to Blade, fouls it off, out of play. Change up 86 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Blade. Cutter 92 miles an hour, high and away. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 1-1 pitch. Knuckle curve missing there by Kirby. Low and at the knees, 84 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 4th inning, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. 2-1 pitch. Hard hit ball in right field, out of play. Change up 87 miles an hour there by Kirby, right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to J.J. Blade, the former Athletic. Fourth overall pick from Vanderbilt in 2019 from the A's. Kind of surprised they moved on from him. 2-2 pitch, and Blade pops it up. Shallow center field. Julio is there, and Julio's already made 3 great plays in center field. Nice job, Julio. And that is the no-fly zone and 1 away. Nice job there by Julio Rodriguez, as reliable as they come, like King Griffey Jr. in center field. Next up in the 4-hole, right fielder Spencer Steer. First pitch there into Steer, right down the middle with a sweeper for a strike, 0-1 count. Steer in the box, George Kirby on the mound. Oh-1 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Steer. One pitch. Big swing and a miss. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 4th inning, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. One-two pitch, big swing and a miss. Got him. 97 mile an hour, 4-seam fastball, and that is 2 away. Nice job there by George Kirby with another punch out. Next up for George Kirby in the 5-hole, the former Seattle Mariner, Eugenio Suarez. Good vibes only. First pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle, 0-1 count. Probably one of the most likable players in the entire MLB. 209 average, 12 homers, 36 ribbies. You know, had a few little injuries along the way this season, but hopefully he'll be able to be injury-free the rest of the way. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Gino. Oh-2 pitch. Hard hit ball into left, right into Randy's glove for out number 3. Thank God that didn't end up being a ground ball in Randy's area. Down goes Gino, flying out to Randy, and let's go to the bottom of the 4th and see if we can end up finally getting on the board. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1. Catcher in the 4-hole, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second, 0 for 1. First baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. And batting third, 0 for 0 with a walk. Second baseman, my favorite player, Cole Much Young. I'm a big Julio and Cole Young guy, and you already know why. Offense, defense, hustle, good attitude, it all matters. Trident's up, let's go M's. All right, 50 subs to go to 24,500, 550 to go to 25,000. Gained another sub moments ago. Thank you so much. 49 subs now to go to 24,500. Now let's see how close we are to our likes. We should be getting pretty close to that 100 number. We got 207 in the room. And we are at 89. Can we get 11 people to hit that like button? And we'll be at 100. Got 89 likes. We need 11 people out of 208, and we will be at 100. We're going to bust out the Mariner Moose. Typically, when the Moose comes out, great things happen. And maybe that'll lead to a Cal Raleigh home run, a Josh Naylor single or hit by pitch, and maybe Cole Young will hit another homer for the third game in a row. Let's go. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch to Cal. Big swing and a miss on a changeup, low and away. 85 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abbott to Raleigh. And if we can get Donnie back to, how he was playing at the beginning of the year, batting, around that 300 to 350 range, at least for, a few games, it could really give us that spark, but even if he ends up batting, 270 to 290, that would be much better than a lot of the players on the team at the moment. 1-1 pitch, and Cal fouls it off himself. Hopefully he's okay. Cutter, 88 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Abbott to Cal Raleigh. It's been a pitcher's duel so far. 2 hits apiece, and we may have to wait for Abbott to exit before we really take off, but hopefully we'll rough Abbott up in the 5th or 6th or in this particular 4th inning for a run or 2, and then they'll take him out, they'll bring in somebody, we rough them up, and then we end up finding a way to win this game, 3-1, 4-2, 5-3, if we can get to that point, or it may end up being low scoring, and it might end up being hopefully 1-0 or 2-1, as long as we end up getting the victory. Got to keep our win streak alive. 1-2 pitch from Abbott. And Cal pops it up into right field and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Abbott to Raleigh. Come on, baby. The Griffey Bobble wants hits. We need RBIs. We need home runs. Jimbo in the building. What's good? Bottom of the 4th, 0-0, Reds and Mariners, an 8-pitchers duel. 1-2 pitch, low and away. If that was earlier, in the season, Cal would have swung at that and been strike 3. So, again, just patience in the box, and that really solves a lot of issues. But unfortunately, we only have about 3 hitters, out of maybe 15 that are actually patient this year. 2-2 pitch, and Cal pops it up. And out of play, 4-seam fastball there by Abbott. 92 miles an hour, right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 4th, 0-0, Reds and Mariners. Come on, Cal. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Cal Raleigh. And that is 1 away. There's no reason Cal should be in the 4-hole. It's just ridiculous, on the type of managing skills Dan Wilson provides. When you got a hitter that has been struggling more than almost anybody on the team besides Rob Refsnyder, why are you having him bat 4th? He should be batting 6th or 7th until he starts to get into a rhythm. That's a basic baseball knowledge, but I guess Dan doesn't understand. Next up in the 5-hole, first baseman Josh Naylor. On deck, Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Nails. Let's see if we can get a hit by Naylor, or potentially see if he can draw a walk if possible. 0-1 pitch. Takes the strike, looking low and at the knees, and Naylor is going to challenge. Don't know if you're going to win this, though. Looked like it might have got the corner. Let's take a look at this ABS challenge here. And it is a strike. Naylor loses the challenge. We only have 1 challenge left. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning. We're still knotted at 0. But, still a good chance that you can get to 3, 4, 5 runs today. There's no doubt about that. 0-2 pitch. Low and away. Sweeper missing there by Abbott. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. 1-2 pitch, and Naylor pops it up. Should be an easy routine play there in left field, and it is, and that is 2 away. Next up in the 6th hole, my favorite player, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. And he's been the biggest bright spot this year besides, maybe Bryce Miller, Emerson Hancock. I don't know if we really anticipated Miller and Hancock to be as good as they have been this season, but the biggest bright spot of the year is by far Cole Clutch Young. Should have made the All-Star team this year as a reserve. But again, as they see the, game progress for all the people that thought he was going to cap out with only 12 to 15 home runs, he seems like a guy that could hit 20 to 30 home runs. And for a guy that, doesn't really look like he's got home run power, it's just great to be able to see his development. Would love to be able to see him make multiple All-Star games, and he should be able to go on a run like Julio did in Julio's earlier career. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abbott to Young. 1-1 pitch, hard hit ball towards third, and just foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Abbott to Young. Andrew Abbott on the mound, Cole Clutch Young in the box. Let's go, Cole. Let's go, Cole. 1-2 pitch. And Young pops it up. And out of play. Great souvenir there. 4-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour there by Abbott. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. One-two pitch popped up and out of play. And Young is the best with runners in scoring position and the best with runners in scoring position with 2 outs. And again, we just need to give him more opportunities. And if anyone deserves a chance to get 5 at-bats and batting in the first 3 in the batting order, Young is definitely deserving. 1-2 pitch, low and away. Sweeper missing there by Abbott. But Young has also proven that he can bat anywhere, 1 through 9, and he can be productive. But, having him, in those first 3 spots, obviously we know Julio's got the 2-hole kind of locked down, but 2-2 pitch. And Young pops it up. Shallow center field should be an easy play for out number 3, and it is. Pitching duel so far here as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, here in the top of the 5th inning, 0 for 1, catcher in the 6th hole, Tyler Stevenson. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder in the 7th hole, Dane Myers. And batting third, 1 for 1, second baseman in the 8th hole, Edwin Arroyo. Try to up. Let's go, M's. 49 subs to go to 24,500. And we gained another sub during the commercial break. Thank you so much. 48 subs now to go to 24,500. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train to get us going. And we're at 108 likes, 92 to 200. Thank you so much. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for both teams. And, we just got to find a way. Randy with a hit, Robles with a hit. And then obviously at the bottom of the order for the Reds, Arroyo and Ke'Bryan Hayes with back-to-back hits. And, it's just been, that kind of game. And, we've seen quite a few of these. All right, so Abbott has 4 innings pitched. 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 62 pitches, 42 strikes with a 3.96 ERA. And then for Kirby, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 53 pitches, 34 strikes with a 3.63 ERA. But something's got to give. George Kirby on the mound, Tyler Stevenson in the box. I mean, I don't care if we win this game 1-0 or 2-1. You know, we just got to find a way to win. Steven in the building, Judah in the building. What's good? First pitch from Kirby to Stevenson, high and inside with that sweeper. 1-0 count. Starting to get a little bit of a heat wave these next 3 days. Today was in the high 80s. Tomorrow will be in the high 90s on back-to-back days. So make sure you hydrate and take care of your pets out there if you live in the Pacific Northwest and you're watching. I'll have to wake up extra early to get those walks in tomorrow and Wednesday for Paisley Pup. 1-0 pitch, another ball low and away to Stevenson. 2 balls and no strikes from Kirby to Stevenson. Back-to-back sweepers missing by Kirby. 2-0 pitch. Nice sinker right down the middle for a strike as Stevenson takes that pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 5th, and we're still knotted at 0. Two-one pitch, trying to paint the corner, but not getting the call. Four-seam fastball just missing the corner, low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Three-one pitch. In there for a strike. Beautiful sinker again there by Kirby. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Nice punch out there by George Kirby. Nice job, George. Way to keep up the electricity. We just need the bats to come alive, but at least you're doing your job. And any pitcher that gives up 2 runs or less, you're doing exactly what we need you to do to win. And obviously with you not giving up anything so far, that's great for Kirby. All right, Mariner Moose, give us that Soto mojo. Next up in the 7-hole, center fielder Dane Myers. First pitch low and away, takes a strike with that sinker. 0-1 count. Christakis with the 5er, getting us started. Appreciate you. And a little dribbler up the middle. Double clutch and just can't get the throw to first in time. Appreciate you, Christakis. All right, we're at 5 on the Dono train, 95 to go. And he says, for good energy for the M's. Appreciate that. Runner goes. Throw from Cal. Another wide right throw, and he is safe. $5 dono there on the Dono train from Christakis. Appreciate you. Myers stole second. We haven't been able to really throw that many runners out this season, unfortunately. 0-1 pitch to Arroyo. Popped him up. Julio is there. No fly zone in full effect. Julio busy tonight, like he usually is, in center field. And the no fly zone gets the job done again. Great job, Julio. And that is 2 away with a runner at second. Up is Key Brian Hayes. First pitch, sweeper, high and away, painting the corner beautifully there by George Kirby. 0-1 count. Top of the fifth inning, 0-0 Reds and Mariners. Runner at second with 2 outs. It's been a pitcher's duel. 3 hits for the Reds, 2 hits by the Mariners, but no RBIs, home runs, or runs for that matter just yet. 0-1 pitch. High and away. Sinker missing there by Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Hayes. All right, Kirby is challenging. Call is confirmed. We have no more challenges now. I don't know if we really want our pitcher challenging anything. And Kirby thought it was a strike, but it was more of a good frame job by Cal. And now the Mariners are out of challenges. But I'd rather be out of challenges by the middle of the game rather than, losing them in the first inning where we had Randy challenge 2 pitches, a few games back in the first inning and lost both. And then we were out of challenges for the rest of the game. And it's hard to win games that are close when you end up fumbling the bag like Randy did a few days back. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Hayes. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Hayes. And if they were going to make an adjustment to the rule, they should have a rule in place where one specific player cannot challenge, 2 times in a single at bat. Two-one pitch, big swing and a miss there by Ke'Bryan Hayes. Nasty sweeper there by Kirby. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Hayes. Come on, George. Two-two pitch. High and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Hayes. L.A. De La Cruz on deck. Three-two pitch. Got him! Kirby has got himself into a few jams, but nothing too crazy. But great job there by George Kirby. All right, it's about time that we get on the board. It's been pretty slim pickings for both teams offensively, but something's got to give. And let's see if we got the right individuals in this particular batting order to get something going. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Next up in the 7-hole, 1 for 1 with a single into right field in his first at-bat, Victor Robles. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, third baseman Buddy Kennedy. Dropped the bunt, Buddy. And batting third, 0 for 1 on his birthday today, turning 21, shortstop, the phenom, Colt Emerson. I wouldn't mind Colt dropping a bunt down either. Trident's up. Let's go out. We're at 5 on the Dono train, 95 to go, 48 subs to go to 24,500. Gained another sub during the commercial break. Thank you so much. 47 subs to go to 24,500. And let's see how close we are to that 150 mark since we broke 100. We got 244 in the room. Try to always get to 150 to 200 if we have enough people. And we're at 117. $83 to 200. Rangers down 2 is what Chris is mentioning, and I love that. We're only a half game behind the Rangers, and it's going to be in just a matter of time before we take over first place and hopefully not look back. The July schedule is favorable. August is going to be a nightmare, and September is a little bit easier. So again, if we can get through August, again, things should be much easier for us in September as we make our playoff push. All right, Andrew Abbott on the mound. Victor Robles in the box. First pitch there by Abbott is in there for a strike. 4-seam fastball right down the middle. 0-1 count. 90-mile-an-hour 4-seam fastball to Victor Robles. Come on, Victor. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abbott to Robles. 1-1 pitch, little blooper, drop, and Victor Robles with a very rare 2-for-2 day. Nice job, Victor. G-Baby in the building. What's good? All right, next up is Buddy Kennedy. Drop the bunt. Small ball wins. And if he drops the bunt correctly, we'll be able to move that runner over. And again, let's see if Dan Wilson understands baseball or not. First pitch in there for a strike with the changeup to Buddy Kennedy. 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, takes a strike high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Abbott to Kennedy. Ichiri in the building. Corbin in the building. Oh, 2 pitch. And Kennedy pops up shallow right field. And that is 1 away. Next up in the 9-hole, shortstop Colt Emerson. And again, I'm really missing JP in the lineup for his patience. And, again, I know sometimes we got to sprinkle in some of these other guys like Buddy Kennedy and Rob Refsnyder and such, but, we definitely need better players. Next up, on his birthday, turning 21 today, Colt Emerson. And originally he wasn't in the lineup, and I was actually messaging my best friend, and I was like, it's his birthday today. Why the hell is he not in the lineup? But then JP Crawford got scratched from the lineup. About 45 minutes to game time, and then they brought Colt back in. So hopefully Colt will get a hit here on his birthday. This pitch is fouled off there by Emerson. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch to Emerson, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abbott to Emerson. And Colt's got all the tools like Cole Young, to be a star, not only on the Mariners, but in the league. But the thing that I've noticed the most is about his patience in the box, and he'll get better as he has his first full season next year. He'll make a big jump like Cole Young did this year. About 25% of his hits are home runs, but he went from batting 250, 260 to now under 200, and we need to get that batting average up. Two balls and 1 strike from Abbott to Emerson, AAA. Our AAA squad is actually looking pretty good, based off talent. And if they were smart, they would have kept Johnny Pareda over Mitch Garver. Not only a better catcher, but a better hitter. But seems like, the GM and, with DePoto and Hollander and with Wilson, they're not the brightest. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Abbott to Emerson. But we do got Arroyo and Lazaro Montes in AAA, and they got promoted about a week ago, so they're doing pretty good so far. We may see those guys get called up at some point, this season or next year. 2-2 pitch, and Emerson pops up and out of play. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Abbott to Emerson, but really I'm waiting for them to get called up to AAA, Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan, and then eventually they'll start off in the bullpen. And I do believe that Cade will end up being one of our best pitchers eventually once he is on the team. He'll be in our starting rotation sooner than later. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Colt, and that is 2 away. And we got Victor Robles at first. We don't want to waste that opportunity. Next up is left fielder Randy Orosarena, who's 1 for 2, who's got a single so far. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for both teams. It's been, right down the middle, based off really production. First pitch is low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And Robles almost gets thrown out at first. We got a section in the outfield that is cheering very loudly for the Mariners. It's always nice to be able to, have people, swing the shirts around like Petey Pablo, like a helicopter, or if they all have matching jerseys or they have like a theme and they can kind of get the crowd going. 1-0 pitch. And Robles going with the stolen bag. Go, 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 go. And it ends up going past the second baseman and Robles to third. Let's go. Best opportunity for the Mariners to score. Let's go. Good job there by Victor Robles. And so far, it's the Victor Robles game. He's got 2 singles so far, steals a bag, and throw is wild by Stevenson, and Robles ends up going to third. Let's go. Let's see if Randy can get a key RBI here to make it 1-0, unless he's able to home run and make it 2-0. Come on, Randy. Two-0 pitch, low and away. Changeup just hitting the corner. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at second and 2 outs. Or a runner at third, excuse me, and 2 outs. 2-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Jimothy is famous, up here in the Pacific Northwest. So, yeah, they'll be putting Jimothy up from time to time. It's definitely a story that's been in the news and, been on social media out here and also around the globe. 3-1 pitch from Abbott to Randy. Check swing. Did he go? Damn it. Should have been patient there. That would have been ball 4. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Abbott to Arosarena. Jordan, I've been waiting on you, my guy. How are you, bro? 3-2 pitch. And that is a ball outside, and that is a walk to Randy. And again, we'll have fans that represent other teams from time to time, but there's not very many that actually are like Jordan. And, again, some, are going to be, hostile, and some are going to be a part of this channel. And Jordan, you are definitely part of this channel, and I wish you the best. Hopefully it ends up being a good series. And I know it's been rough. There was kind of moments where you were floating in the division where you had everyone in the Central above 500, but the Reds have gone on a little bit of a skid until you guys played the Rockies and got a little bit hotter. But you got Sal Stewart, a rookie phenom. You got Ellie De La Cruz. You got Spencer Steer. You got a few guys, JJ Bleday from the Athletics. So it's like, again, hopefully things will get better in the second half of the season for you guys. Paisley's doing good, still wearing the cone part-time, but again, she's in good spirits. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. First pitch to Julio, fouls it off, 0-1 count. And I think that's why it's so important that we need to have Cole Young in the 3-hole for situations like this, instead of Dominic Canzone, who was the right choice a couple months ago, but now it needs to be Cole Young because you want to make sure that you have the proper hitters at 1, 2, and 3. Even though JP was a late scratch and they had Randy leading off. And assuming it'll end up being Brandon Donovan 1, Julio 2, but it needs to be Cole Young 3 for the rest of the year if Dan had a brain, but I don't know if he does. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abbott to Rodriguez. I mean, if you want to get the most out of the Mariners, you got to put your best players at the top of the order to give them an extra at-bat at the end of the game. 1-1 pitch, high and away. Tries to paint the corner, Abbott, and just misses. 2 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Bottom of the 5th, runners on the corners with 2 outs. Come on, Julio. 2-1 pitch, Julio with a ground ball. Throw to first. Wild throw, yes, and we score. There we go. Woo! A wild throw by Ellie De La Cruz. He's kind of known for that within the last couple of years versus the Mariners. And a wild throw to first. Julio is safe. Runner scores. Victor Robles at third. 1-0 M's. Let's go. There it is, baby. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Prayers up for Riley. Hopefully everything goes well with your dog as well. First pitch to Dominic Canzone. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. And Dom might have hurt himself there on that swing. And Again, Dom, was hotter early in the year with Luke, but again, Cole Young should have been in the 3 spot, especially on how productive he was yesterday. Back-to-back days with home runs, and then you end up moving, Young, from the 3 down to the 6. I mean, it's like, it definitely feels like Dan Wilson doesn't really know how to manage. I get it. You were a former player, but there's certain things like common sense, that you should understand. Like small ball and bunting and moving guys over and rearranging the batting order and not having Cal Raleigh batting 3rd or 4th in the lineup, considering he's, not very good this year. You have to make adjustments. 0-1 pitch from Abbott to Dom. Big swing and a miss again. No balls and 2 strikes from Abbott to Canzone. Yeah, Ellie occasionally. We have seen that. That has been an issue for him. Sometimes he'll make an incredible play defensively, but other times there'll be a little bit of an off throw to first. I mean, we're familiar with that with JP Crawford. Normally, JP is electric defensively, but this year has had a lot of issues at shortstop and third. Sidearm throws, inaccurate throws that are high or low for Josh Naylor. So, we feel the pain. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Dom, leaving runners stranded at first and second. But at least we end up getting on the board with the Ellie De La Cruz wild throw to first. Julio was safe. Robles scores from third, and we finally take a 1-0 lead. Try dance up. Let's go M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. End of the 5th inning, 1-0 Mariners. 47 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 5 on the Dono train from Christakis. 95 to go. All right, let's see where we're at on the likes as we go to the top of the 6th inning. All right, we're at 127 likes. $73 to $200. Next up for the Reds, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, shortstop Ellie De La Cruz. We'll see if he makes up for that wild throw to first. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, the phenom rookie, first baseman Sal Stewart, who's an absolute stud. And batting third, the former Athletic, 0 for 2, left fielder J.J. Bleday. Try dance up, go M's. Yeah, and you got to be careful, with the dog scratching, especially if you have to keep up on the nail trimming and the Dremel. I noticed also, with Paisley had the hot spot, on her tail. And, I have to make sure there's a cone on her when I'm not able to watch her every second. And I noticed that she started to kind of scratch near her lip and on one side of her face, and it started to kind of, break the skin a little bit. It wasn't like bloody per se, but, some of the hair was missing, and, you could kind of see underneath. And, you have to really make sure with dogs, with allergies and everything else. And, I have a probiotic, that I give her, for good gut health and whatnot. And so that way she doesn't have any more, potential ear infections and other things that have kind of gone wrong with her. 3 vet visits in 3 months costing me $1,100 was not ideal. And obviously anything that we get on the Dono train this month will help kind of get me back on my feet. So, but hopefully Riley will be okay. And, I know dogs don't like wearing the cone and whatnot, but sometimes you got to do it. And now Weston Wilson is in the game, and it looks like Dom might be out of the lineup now. All right, no, and now is Julio out also? What's going on here? So now Julio is out of the game. What the hell is going on here? Jesus. And this is the type of season that we've had, so now Weston Wilson is coming in and in right field. Robles is in center. We thought Dom, might have hurt himself, but now Julio is out, and I don't know what's going on with Julio here. He was running to first, and he ended up, he got hit looks like he got hit on the butt, from that throw to first. And again, I know he had the concussion and he was out for quite some time, but I didn't really see anything there besides him getting hit on the butt or the, back of the thigh. But apparently that was enough for Julio to exit, and that's not ideal. Hopefully Julio is in the lineup tomorrow, because when Julio's in the game, we win. When Julio's not in the game, we lose more times than not. So, and Julio is not a fragile player. He's not injury prone whatsoever, but this is a little concerning. 1-1 pitch is in there for another ball to Ellie De La Cruz. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. And at least we ended up getting the 1-0 lead before Julio had to exit. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle with the changeup by Kirby. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ellie De La Cruz. Two pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes De La Cruz, and that is 1 away. Nice job by George Kirby today. Electric. Next up, the rookie phenom in the 2-hole first baseman, Sal Stewart. And out of all the rookies in 2026, this particular class might be the best rookie class in the last 15 or 20 years. That's how good it is. Not just with, the players, that are on our teams with, Colt Emerson and obviously Sal Stewart, but all across the league. It's just crazy. Munetaka Murakami and many, many, many others. It's just a very, very deep group. It's great for baseball. First pitch fouled off high and inside with a sinker, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, hard hit ball, deep right field. And Weston Wilson sliding but can't get to the ball. And it is out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Stewart. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Kirby on the mound, Sal Stewart in the box. (0-2) pitch. Popped up. And out of play. My dad rescues poodles and has had a few of them, over the years and whatnot. And one of them, Roxy, ended up getting like diabetes and had to have medication with like a syringe that, had to be done and whatnot. So I understand what that's all about as well. And, Paisley got her first ear infection in her life just a few months ago after going for an annual visit, where she had to get vaccines and other things. So it was already like $450 for a visit. Then a month later, she gets an ear infection, and it was pretty bad, with everything, and the medication and everything had to be done. And then ended up having a hot spot on her tail. It's just crazy. Little dribbler up the middle, throw to first, and that is 2 away. Down goes Sal Stewart. But I didn't anticipate going to the vet, 3 times in 3 months. Usually I go once a year for that annual checkup, but you got to make sure you're taking care of your fur babies. I got to be the best dog father I can be. Top of the 6th inning with 2 outs, 1-0 Mariners. So when Julio was running to first, he ended up getting hit in the butt cheek, or underneath the back of the thigh, butt area, as that wild throw by Ellie De La Cruz hit him. And I guess that was enough for him to exit the game. Dom in that at-bat previously had kind of an awkward swing, and I thought maybe he got hurt, but Dom was DHing, and I guess Dom is going to stay in. But hopefully Julio is in the lineup tomorrow, because we have a really hard time winning without him. First pitch is low and away to JJ Bleday, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, little dribbler towards first and foul. Change up there, 89 miles an hour down the middle by Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike to JJ Bleday. But again, even with Julio getting hit in the head, it's not like it was a 100-mile-an-hour throw from the Angels when they were trying to do the double play, and he missed a lot of time with that. And concussions are not anything to play around with, but it kind of felt like, maybe that was more of like, just trying to be, cautious. And I don't know. I'm kind of shocked that Julio left the game. I mean, it was a decent throw from Ellie to first, but as that gets popped up to Buddy Kennedy, and that is out number 3. But, to get hit in the butt cheek and to leave the game, we already, had a hard time trying to compete without you, against the Marlins and the Rays. And then obviously that first game against the Giants, we lost 7-0 without Julio. And then we had Julio back, and he ended up getting the sac fly that was the game winner, and then ended up, producing in the next game with Cole Young. But we'll see. I really hope that he'll be okay. And it's not like Julio's injury prone, but again, we just have a lot of bad luck this year with injuries, whether they're major or minor. A lot of them have been minor, besides like the Brandon Donovan, that one was serious. Vargas, serious. Brash and Criswell, serious. But other than that, everything else has been either, a couple days or a couple weeks. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Why are you batting in the 4 hole? You should be in the 6 hole or in the 7 hole. Come on, my guy. Batting second, 0 for 2 in the 5 hole, first baseman, Josh Naylor. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, second baseman, Cole Clutch Young, the biggest bright spot this year in 2026. He's homered in back-to-back games. Let's see if he can do it again. 47 subs to go to 24,500. Gained 2 more subs since the commercial break. Thank you so much. Shout out to our new subs, our female audience, all of our regulars, everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. Let's see if we get a few more people to hop on like Christakis did to get us started. And let's see where we're at on the likes with 263 in the room. Let's see if we can get close to 200. We're at 140. We need 60 more likes to get to 200. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. First pitch for a ball to Cal Raleigh with a cutter. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Pop behind the plate and foul. Curveball there by Abbott. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 Seattle. 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? And he did. Cutter, 87 miles an hour, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Abbott to Raleigh. And Cal is putting way too much pressure on himself. And it clearly has shown in his, play this year. Overly aggressive. After having that monster 60 home run season, last year playing in the, home run derby and the all-star game and the WBC and, his body wore down, and again, that typically can happen when you end up, playing 159 out of 162 games plus WBC and everything else. So, but hopefully, he'll be able to find a way to get close to 20 home runs before the season is over. But based on how he's been playing, realistically, it might be, 15 to 18 home runs, unless he can have a couple multi-homer games before the end of the season. But this version of Cal Raleigh is not what we expected or what we want. It's definitely not been good. 2-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 for Cal. And he needs to, take a lot more time in the booth, and as well as in the batting cage. And watching more film, to kind of, go over adjustments, because what he's been able to put on the field so far, even with the injuries, it has not been to our standard. Next up, it's Nails, Josh Naylor with 1 away. First pitch to Nails, takes a strike right down the middle with a 4-seam fastball there by Abbott, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Naylor shows bunt, drops it down. Run, Josh. And Naylor not in time, but I like the effort of bunting, and that is 2 away. And let's see if the best player on the Mariners, not named Julio Rodriguez, can get the job done here in the 6th hole. Second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. You know, Cole can do it defensively, and he's been a monster as of late. You know, the best player with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, and, you know, definitely the biggest bright spot in this kind of sideways type of year that we've had in 2026. And I assume that he will be a perennial all-star year in and year out going into next year. You know, he either will be the starting second baseman or he'll be a reserve, but sooner than later, he will be the starting second baseman in the all-star game year in and year out. 0-1 pitch, low and away. And we know Ernie Clement is a good player for the Blue Jays, but if I had a choice between Cole and Ernie, give me Cole all day. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Four-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abbott to Young. Let's go, Cole. 1-1 pitch, popped up and out of play. Sweeper, 82 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0 Seattle. You know, and again, every once in a while, you'll get something from Cole in the first 6 innings, but really where he super excels is in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and in extras. White Sox beat the Rangers. I like that. 1-2 pitch. Young pops up. Shallow left field, and that will be out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 7th inning, and thankfully we got a 1-0 lead before Julio had to exit after getting hit in the butt cheek by Ellie De La Cruz on a throw to first. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, we're at 145 likes. We need 55 more to get to 200. Can we get there? We can get 55 people out of the 261 to hit that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we have 45 more subs to get to 24,500. 545 to get to 25,000. That'll be a real special day. And we're at 5 on the Dono train, 95 to go. Shout out to Christakis. Let's see if we get a few others to help out in that regard as well. All right, next up for the Reds here in the top of the 7th inning in the 4-hole, 0 for 2 with a K, right fielder Spencer Steer. Batting second, 0 for 2, the former Seattle Mariner, good vibes only, DHing in the 5-hole, Eugenio Suarez. We love you. Probably the most loved former Mariner player, maybe of all time. You know, obviously we know we've had players come and go, and, you know, we definitely miss certain individuals. But Gino is so well-liked across the board. And batting third in the 6-hole, catcher Tyler Stevenson. I mean, you can't really say anything negative about Gino. You know, great attitude, you know, a guy that will go back to former teammates and that will greet him with hugs and stories and, you know, photos and videos. And you just don't usually see that, you know, out of a whole lot of guys that have left your team, you know. And, you know, we love Gino and everything that he's been able to bring to the Seattle Mariners. Six Ks for Kirby, 6 Ks for Andrew Abbott. And now Nick Davila, and there's kind of different ways that people are pronouncing that, and we'll see if Nick can get it done. Davila. All right, Davila. First pitch, takes a strike looking with the slider, 88 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, in there for another strike. No balls and 2 strikes from Davila to Steer. And Davila has been our best AAA bullpen addition since we lost Vargas pretty much we didn't have him for the whole year. And then we had Cooper Criswell and Matt Brash that ended up getting injured. And, Rucker has been decent. He's probably been number 2. And then Simpson and Hoppy have been probably the worst. And obviously we're still waiting for those guys to get back on the team. Vargas, Brash, and Criswell in August. But Rucker and Davila have actually been okay, Sometimes bad, but for the most part, decent. But I still would rather have Criswell, Vargas, or Brash, obviously, than those guys. Pitches low and away with that slider, 87 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 7th, 1-0 Seattle. 2-2 pitch, little dribbler towards third base and foul. Nick Davila on the mound, Spencer Steer in the box. Let him know all day. Oh, and Steer gets plunked by Davila. Now we got a runner at first. Steer gets hit in the ribs there. Obviously not intentional. First pitch high and inside to Gino, almost hits him. 1-0 count. And we don't want the game to get away from us after Kirby pitched to Jem, and then obviously we bring in some of these AAA guys, Davila, and then all of a sudden we lose our lead and lose the game, And again, at times, Jose Ferrer, Gabe Spire, and Eduard Bizardo are great, but we've also seen them look terrible as well. So now we have a mound visit with Woodworth and the team trying to calm down Davila. And again, we didn't have this issue last year. Relatively, the bullpen was healthy. We didn't really have any injuries. And it really does show you, that position group, is going to win you or lose you more games than any other position group. And, we don't want to lose the game after Kirby ended up being spectacular. Offense, obviously, it's been kind of slim pickings, so far, right? 4 hits for the Mariners, 3 by the Reds, but Elia De La Cruz hitting Julio in the butt cheek, and he had to exit the game. And I hope Julio is back, obviously, in the lineup tomorrow and Wednesday, because, we have a real hard time winning without Julio Rodriguez. I mean, you would think it would maybe make a bruise or a strawberry on that, back of the thigh, butt area. But for him to leave the game because of that is a little shocking. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Davila to Gino. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike from Davila to Gino. Oh, for sure. What's good, Miguel? Yeah, we'll make it. I'm not sure if we'll win the AL West, but, wild card at the very least. Little dribbler by Gino, double play, throw to first, got him! And then we bail out Davila with the double play. And Eugenio Suarez, a fan favorite, but again, we're trying to win this game, and Gino hits into a double play. Great defense by the Mariners. Next up in the 6th hole, catcher Tyler Stevenson. On deck is center fielder Dane Myers. First pitch from Davila, high and inside with a slider, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Davila to Stevenson. I mean, he did have an ERA of 0, for the first couple weeks when we first got him, and then he started walking a lot of guys, but he usually doesn't give up too many runs, and he's probably the best AAA, fill-in guy. He's better than Rucker, but really those two are the only guys that are kind of worth a damn. Everyone else that they brought in has been kind of shitty, if we're being honest. And again, we can't bring up Cade or Ryan Sloan yet, which would be interesting whenever that happens. But we'll get Vargas back, in August, as well as Brash and Criswell, and that'll make a huge difference for this team. Little dribbler up the middle. Emerson is there, throw to first, and that is out number 3. Great defense there by the Mariners. All right, let's go to the 7th inning stretch. Great defense there by Colt on his birthday today, turning 21. And let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning to see if we can end up getting another run on the board. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th, 1-0 Seattle. Next up for the Mariners, 2 for 2 with a run and a stolen bag, right fielder Victor Robles. This has been a good game for him. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, third baseman Buddy Kennedy. Drop a bunt down, Buddy. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop Colt Emerson. You may want to try to throw a bunt down as well. Let's go. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Gained another sub during the commercial break. Thank you so much. 44 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. Christakis getting the ball rolling. Let's see if we can get a few others to help. And we're at 151 likes, 49 more to get to 200. We got almost 300 in the room, so if we can get 49 people out of 271 to hit that like button, we will be at 200. Good to see you, Miguel. All right, Victor. Let's see if Victor can go 3 for 3, which we haven't really seen him do that much this season, let alone even going 2 for 2. It's kind of shocking. But again, without Victor going 2 for 2, we don't have a 1-0 lead. So again, you never know. Any given day, someone can be kind of an unsung hero. And we have a pitching change here. Pierce Johnson coming in for the Reds. First pitch, big swing and a miss there by Robles, getting fooled by the curveball, 85 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Pierce Johnson on the mound, Victor Robles in the box. And then Robles calls time. No, Kirby is out. We just saw Davila pitch just a few minutes ago. Curveball, high and away. He's 87 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Pierce Johnson to Victor Robles. And a hard hit ball towards first base and fair. And this is the Victor Robles game. Don't go for 2. There you go. Pump the brakes. And this is the first time that Robles has gone 3 for 3 all season. Great job, Victor. Great hitting day by Victor Robles. This is the best game I've seen him play all season. Way to bring the electricity, Victor Robles. All right, next up is Buddy Kennedy. Drop the bunt. Kennedy and Colt. Let's go. And Luke Raley is pinch hitting for Buddy Kennedy. Thank God. All right, here we go. No more Buddy Kennedy. And we saw Luke Raley get a home run, obviously off a pinch hit at bat yesterday. So let's see if we can do it again. Let's see if we get a nuke out of Luke. Let's go, Luke. On deck is Colt Emerson, the birthday boy, turning 21 today. Obviously, Buddy Kennedy, the weak link in the lineup. First pitch is high and away from Pierce Johnson to Luke Raley, 1-0 count. See if Luke can open this game up for us. Throw to first, and Robles is safe. Come on, Luke. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Curveball there by Johnson. High and away, 86 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Johnson to Rayleigh. One pitch, hard hit ball into right field. Go, go, go. Go, baby, go. Run, Robles. Run, Robles. Yes. And Robles makes it to third. Runners now at first and third with no outs. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to win this game, especially with Julio exiting early, getting hit in the butt cheek. Nice job there by Luke Rayleigh. All right, next up is Colt Emerson. First pitch to Colt, fouls it off. Right in front of the catcher, 0-1 count. Come on, Colt. 0-1 pitch, pop behind the plate and foul. No balls and 2 strikes from Johnson to Emerson. And again, if we can get the jump with Colt next season like we got with Cole, we're going to have, one of the very best 1-2 combos at shortstop and second base. Just got to be able to be a little bit more patient in the box if you're Colt Emerson, who's celebrating his 21st birthday here today. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 4-seam fastball, missing there by Johnson. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners on the corners at first and third and no outs. Come on, Colt. See if we can get an RBI single here by Colt Emerson. 1-2 pitch. And a hard hit ball, deep left field. Sac fly attempt. Go, 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 go. Run, Robles, run, run. And he does it. 2-0 Mariners. Good job by Colt Emerson, hitting that ball deep enough for Victor Robles to score from third base. Let's go. 2-0 M's. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Nice job by the birthday boy. Nice job, Colt. Next up is Randy Arozarena. First pitch into Randy, takes a strike, 0-1 count. TJ, what's good? Oh, 1 pitch, and there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes from Johnson to Arozarena. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2-0 Mariners. Let's go. Oh, 2 pitch, low and away. 4-seam fastball missing there by Pierce Johnson. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2-0 Mariners. Spokane dude in the building. All day and TJ in the building. 1-2 pitch. Randy with a nice dribbler towards right field. Go, 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 go. Run. And now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. Here we go. And then this would have been Julio Rodriguez if he didn't get hit in the butt cheek earlier by the Ellie De La Cruz wild throw. And it's going to be Weston Wilson. Let's see if Weston Wilson can continue the rally. All right, Weston Wilson, let's see what you can do. We're on a 2-game win streak. So we're trying to obviously just keep the good vibes going. And obviously with the Rangers loss today, we're creeping closer. And Weston Wilson loses his bat on that first pitch, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 7th inning, runners at first and second with 1 out. 2-0 Mariners. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And again, we're always going to be a second half team. We started off 50-50, but it's not crazy to think that we couldn't go, 40-22 in the last 62 games and hit 90 wins. We've done it many, many times in years past. And, again, if we didn't have all the injuries, poor managing and poor play, you would think that we would be maybe like 60-40 right now. We would be like 5 or 10 games above 500, but we've had a lot of things go wrong this year, with injuries to the bullpen, injuries to our stars, bad managing, Mooney being terrible, but he's starting to get better. Weston Wilson with a blooper, and it's fair. Go, 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 go. Run, Luke, run. Go, go. Bang. Let's go. 3-0 M's. What a hit by Weston Wilson. And now we got runners at second and third with 1 out. Unbelievable. Weston Wilson pulling his impression of Julio Rodriguez, getting a big blooper into right field, and it drops fair. Unbelievable. Big double by Weston Wilson. Huge. Next up in the 3-hole, DHing Dominic Canzone. And that's why it's so important that we move Cole Young to the 3-hole for the rest of the season. In situations like this, runners at second and third and 1 out, you want to make sure you have your best hitters batting 1, 2, and 3. But apparently Dan Wilson doesn't know how to manage this team. And now we're going to have another pitching change. And the former Mariner, Caleb Ferguson, coming in the bullpen for the Reds. 3-0 Mariners. Let's go. Bottom of the 7th inning, runners at second and third with 1 out. 3-0 M's. Trident's up. Let's go Mariners. All right, former Seattle Mariner bullpen pitcher Caleb Ferguson coming in. We shouldn't really have anything to worry about here. And let's see if Dominic Canzone can get a Dom bomb, and then all of a sudden we're up 6-0, or if he gets an RBI single or an RBI double, it'll be 4 or 5-0. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 2-game winning streak, and if we keep playing like this, it'll be a 3-game winning streak. $44 subs to go to 24,500. Gained another sub during the commercial break. Appreciate you. 43 subs to go to 24,500. Shout out to our new subs, our female audience, our regulars, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We are global, baby. We are at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. See if we can get some help there from Kostakis, helping us out with that. And let's see how close we are to 200 likes. We are at 160. Can we get 40 people to hit that like button, and we'll be there. We got 328 in the room. We should be able to do that. We're at 160 likes. We got 327 people in the room. We just need 40 out of 328, and we'll be there. And every single stream, we will dedicate it to this legend and icon who's retiring after this season, the one, the only, Rick Riz. He's loving it. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Randy Rosarina at third, Weston Wilson filling in for Julio. And I was thinking, gosh, can he do it? You know, we know that Weston Wilson's better than Buddy Kennedy, and both of those guys are better than Rob Refsnyder. But anytime you end up bringing in a Rob Refsnyder, Connor Joe, Weston Wilson, Buddy Kennedy type, you kind of are thinking, oh God, is this going to work out or not? But Weston Wilson has definitely been the best out of all of the, lower tier guys that we've had to come in to fill in the roster, and they're automatically walking Dom. Wow. Bases loaded. And their bases loaded to Cal Raleigh because they don't believe Cal can hit. And they may be right, but hopefully Cal can prove them wrong here. Come on, Cal. Bases loaded with one out. They don't have any faith in you. Hard hit ball. Deep left field. Back. Gone! Cal Raleigh, grand salami. And that'll teach you to do that and walk Dom and Cal Raleigh. I told you he was going to homer from the right side today, didn't I? Let's go. 7-0 Mariners. Woo! Let's fucking go. I told you from that right side, I thought that would be the side that he would homer. And look at that. You intentionally walk Dom. Cal's like, if I can't do it here, I'm never going to do it this season. And there we go. Cal Raleigh with a grand salami after having a terrible year with injuries and poor play, as Naylor comes up with a dribbler off the pitcher's mitt, and they drop it. Woo! Let's go. Everything going our way. 7-0 M's. And this is the type of baseball that we've been looking for, right? For a long, long time. When it rains, it pours. But when you got Uncle Momentum on your side, everything is going our way. Let's go. Beautiful swing there by Cal. And that'll teach you to intentionally walk Dom to get to Cal. And again, I have a pretty good feel and pulse for this team. And like I mentioned, I said earlier in the broadcast that I thought if Cal was going to homer, it would be from the right side rather than the left. And he proved me right. Great job. Next up is Cole Clutch Young. Let's go. Get out the rye bread and mustard, baby. It's grand salami time. Bottom of the seventh inning. Runner at first with one out. And a lot of times we've been blasted like this. Just a few days ago against the Giants, it was miserable. It's nice to be on the opposite end. And now we have that 7-0 lead. Little dribbler up the middle. Double play attempt. And Young is safe. Look at Young and his hustle. Good job by Cole Clutch Young. Randy Rosarina, are you taking notes? That's how you hustle. And now we're back all the way to the guy that we already had up before, Victor Robles, who's 3 for 3 today. Best game of the year. Can Victor go 4 for 4? If he does, it'll be the Victor Robles game, besides obviously Cal getting that grand salami, baby. 7 runs, 10 hits, and we're not done. We might actually get to 10 today. Let's go. And, we definitely needed a game like this, First pitch to Victor Robles, having a best game of his 2026 season. 3 for 3 day. Takes a pitch low and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Victor Robles. One pitch from Ferguson to Robles. Does not go with the slurve ball, slider curve combo, which has been a little bit more common in baseball the last 2 years. What a game. Two-one pitch from the former Mariner. And Victor fouls that one back to the T-Mobile bricks with the cutter. 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first. And 2 outs. 7-0 Seattle. Two-two pitch And Victor with a little dribbler up the middle, and he runs into the ump, and he's safe. Let's go. Let's go. Run, run, run. Woo! Victor with a 4-for-4 day. Are you kidding me? I mean, everything is just going wrong for the Reds. They're even running into the umpire that ended up making that play safe. Unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Victor Robles, 4-for-4. I mean, it may not be 4 home runs like Mike Cameron, but unbelievable. Unbelievable. Great job, Victor. Best game maybe in his career, if we're being honest. And now we got runners at first and third with 2 outs. And again, when they say it, when it rains, it pours, and it is fucking pouring down. You know, that Soto mojo, that Mariner magic down on the Reds here at T-Mobile in Seattle tonight. Beautiful. Next up is Luke Raley. And you know, when things are going well, when you've already gone through the whole entire order and you're going through it again in this one inning. Next up is Luke Raley. See if we get a nuke out of Luke. First pitch with the sinker right down the middle from Caleb Ferguson, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes with runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, 7-0 Seattle. Oh, 2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And Ferguson finally gets that last out. But again, we got to be very happy. Cal Raleigh got home run number 10, and he made it worth his time. A grand salami after they decided to walk Dominic Canzone with runners at first and second. Thank you very much. And Cal Raleigh says, you know what? I have not been good this year. My timing has been terrible, but I'm going to get it done here tonight. And he did. Beautiful. And that's the Cal Raleigh we all know and love. Great job, Cal. Big grand salami. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Reds as we go to the top of the 8th. Next up, 1 for 2 with a K, center fielder Dane Myers. Batting second, 1 for 2, second baseman in the 8-hole Edwin Arroyo. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a K, third baseman Key Brian Hayes. Tridents up, let's go M's. All right, we're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. Hopefully we'll get a few individuals to help out there, especially with this outcome that we're having here today. Should be some excitement there at home. Everyone watching here today. Gained a few more subs moments ago. 41 to go to 24,500. See if we can get some people to show some love and appreciation for the channel and the Mariners. It's not often that we have a 7-0 lead ever. Or a grand salami from Cal, for that matter. And we're at 184 likes. Can we get 16 people to hit that like button so we can get to 200? We got 300 people roughly in the room. We just need 16 of you, and we'll be at 2, excuse me. And now Cole Wilcox is coming in. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Oh, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes from Wilcox to Myers. 1-2 pitch, a ball there from Cole Wilcox. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wilcox to Myers. Top of the 8, 7-0, Ems. Trident's up. Let's go Mariners. 1-2 pitch, little slow dribbler there. Throw to first, and got him. Cole Clutch Young making a play. What's new? And that's 1 up and 1 down. Myers grounds out to Cole Young. Next up in the 8 hole, second baseman Edwin Arroyo. On deck is Ke'Bryan Hayes. One-0 pitch, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wilcox to Arroyo. Great to see Mooney finally, getting back to his normal self at the beginning of the year. It didn't look like he was going to get back on track, but he definitely is getting back to his electric self. And now we just need to get our injured bullpen pitchers back, as well as Brendan Donovan at third. And everything will be right in the universe, besides Julio getting in the butt cheek, hit in the butt cheek earlier today by Ellie De La Cruz, running to first and having to exit the game. Hopefully Julio will be in the lineup tomorrow. 3-1 pitch, hard hit ball towards first and foul. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Wilcox to Arroyo. Rebecca with a 5. Appreciate you. That puts us at 10. We're at 10 on the Dono train. 90 to go. Thank you for your love, generosity, support, and your loyalty, Rebecca. We love you. Shout out to our female audience and our regulars like Rebecca. Greatly appreciated. It shows you, that positivity really does, it comes to play. It's so easy to be negative about life and the Mariners, but life and Mariners have a thing in common. Things get tough and things are going to go wrong, a lot of the time. And how you react in life and the Mariners, will really determine the outcome, moving forward. Things can always be worse. You got to have that mentality, and things can get better. Pitch fouled off there by Arroyo. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that pitch is on the corner, but doesn't get the call. And Arroyo makes it to first. And we're out of challenges. Otherwise, we might have challenged that right there. Next up is Ke'Bryan Hayes. First pitch from Wilcox to Hayes is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Feels so much better to be on this side of the 7-0 rather than that first game against the Giants a couple days ago. When you get down 7-0, depending on when it happens, if it's in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning when it happens, then you got another 2 or 3 innings to go where you're just like, oh God, is this game going to ever end? And, but I'm glad we're on that opposite end of it now. 1-1 pitch, little dribbler towards first and foul. But these last 3 games have been so fulfilling. It's been one of the best stretches, to see, Cole Young do Cole Young things, Julio coming back to the team, even though he had to exit early today. And then Cal Raleigh finally getting to his 10th homer of the year and making it memorable with a grand salami. 1-2 pitch, high and inside as Ke'Bryan Hayes has to jump out of the way from getting hit in the head. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Wilcox to Hayes. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 2-2 pitch, a little dribbler up the middle. Get it, Young. Throw to second. Not in time. Throw to first. Oh! What an insane play that would have been. It went from Young to Emerson and back to Naylor. And again, just in the nick of time did Ke'Bryan Hayes get to first. Are we going to challenge, though? I mean, 360 by Young, 360 by Emerson, and, they did everything that they could to try to get that out. And obviously not a chance to get that runner at second. Or did he? So he did get the out, but not the double play, and that is 2 away. Fielder's choice. Great job by Colt. I didn't even know if he actually got that foot down on the bag from Cole. That was incredible. Next up is Ellie De La Cruz. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Wilcox to De La Cruz. Pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike from Cole Wilcox to Ellie De La Cruz. Top of the 8th, runner at first with 2 outs, 7-0. Mariners try to end up all day, every day. 2-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike from Wilcox to De La Cruz. Three-one pitch, a little dribbler up the middle. Cole Young is there. Bang! Got him. Out number 3. It's nice to be able to have a reliable second baseman, a reliable shortstop, and a reliable center fielder when Julio is in. Great job there by Cole Clutch Young. He can do it on defense. He can do it on offense. He is the man. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th and see if we can put up another run, or 2 or 3. All right, next up is the birthday boy turning 21 today, and the 9-hole shortstop, the phenom, Colt Emerson. Batting second, 2 for 3 with a run and a walk. Productive day for left fielder Randy Arozarena. And filling in for Julio Rodriguez, 1 for 1 with a run and an RBI. Third baseman normally, but today in the outfield, Weston Wilson. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 41 subs to go to 24,500. Gained 2 more subs during the commercial break. Now we only need 39. 39 subs to 24,500. We're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go with this 7-0 lead. And we're at 193 likes. Can we get 7 people to hit the like button so we can get to 200? We're right there. We just need 7 people, and we hit our goal for the night. We're at 193 likes. We got 274 people. I imagine there's going to be at least 7 people in here that can do that for us. Megan in the building. How are you? Let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-0 Mariners. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners. 40-plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. And he is retiring after this season, so we want him to go out with a bang. The one, the only. We love you, Rick Riz. So we got Emerson, Arozarena, and Weston Wilson. Let's see if we can add on to our 7-0 lead. And Emerson with a little dribbler towards third. Throw to first. Not in time. Let's go. And the birthday boy getting on. Let's go. Nice effort by Colt Emerson with the hustle, baby. Nice job. Key Brian Hayes throw not in time. Nice effort by the birthday boy, Colt Emerson. Nice job. Right before the ball went into the mitt at first base. Nice job, Colt. Next up is Randy Arozarena. First pitch to Randy, big swing and a miss with the sinker, high and inside, 0-1 count. Chase Petty, the new pitcher in the game for the Reds. Oh, 0-1 pitch inside to Randy. Sinker missing by Chase Petty. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Bottom of the 8th inning, runner at first with no outs. 7-0 Mariners. 1-1 pitch, low and away with a sweeper, 82 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at first and no outs. Bottom of the 8th. 7-0 Seattle. Let's go. 7 runs, 12 hits today. Beautiful. 2-1 pitch from Petty. And did that hit Randy? And yes, it did. It hits Randy in the shoulder, and Randy to first. Got him right on the elbow rather than the shoulder. And Emerson to second, Randy to first. Next up is Weston Wilson. Let's see if Weston Wilson can get another RBI here. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. First pitch is high and inside to Weston Wilson with the sinker missing. 1-0 count. Pitch with the sweeper missing, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Petty to Wilson. Pitch as Wilson fouls it off himself. Sinker 95 miles an hour, high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and second and no outs. Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-0, Trident's up. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Let's go. And Weston Wilson calling time. Great 3-game stretch. You know, after losing 7-0 without Julio and not having him for the Marlins and Rays series, it was miserable, you know, but after losing 7-0 and not having Julio and then Julio getting the game-winning sac fly, Cole Young homering, it started to, the vibe started to change a little bit. And then we had Cole Young homer again yesterday, got that victory. And then now Cal Raleigh with the grand salami, for obviously struggling, throughout this whole year, getting home run number 10 and making it memorable. Great job, Cal. Great job, Mariners. Great job by George Kirby today as well as our pitching staff. 2-1 pitch popped up by Weston Wilson in shallow right, and that is 1 away. Next up is Dominic Canzone. On deck is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Randall in the building. What's good? And Dom with a nice base hit. Go, go, go. And now we got bases loaded again for Cal Raleigh. He can't hit 2 grand slams in one game, can he? Imagine if he did, how crazy that would be. Cal's got an opportunity, though, to do something that not very many people can do. All right, Cal Raleigh now batting from the left side, and we saw him get multi-homer games quite a bit last season. One from the left, one from the right, and hit one from the right, which we predicted here on the channel earlier in the game. I felt like if he was going to homer, it would be from the right side first, but now he's got an opportunity to do something that not very many people have ever done, hit grand salamis twice in one game. And a little dribbler up the middle, loses the ball, and safe. Let's go. So we don't get another grand slam by Cal, but he is safe at first. Ellie De La Cruz having a nightmare game defensively. And we score a run there. Nice RBI by Cal. scoring Colt Emerson from third, 8-0 Mariners. Arroyo and Ellie De La Cruz. Next up is Josh Naylor. And Naylor with a hard hit ball towards first, and it's fair. And then finally, that is out number 3. Or at least we end up getting another run on the board. Nice job by Cal Raleigh. He hasn't really had too many good games this season, but this is definitely the best one. Nice job, Cal. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th. All the Reds need to do is score 8 runs, and the game is tied 9 to win. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th inning with an 8-0 lead. All right, next up for the Reds, 0 for 3 with a K, the phenom rookie Sal Stewart. He is a stud. Batting second, 0 for 3, the former Athletic left fielder J.J. Bleday. And batting third would have been cleanup hitter right fielder Spencer Steer, but they're going to bring in Marte. Noel V. Marte getting a chance to get an at-bat. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. All right, Michael Rucker coming in, another one of our AAA pitchers, kind of filling in for Brash, Criswell, and Vargas. Beautiful sunset there in Seattle and in Oregon as well. A lot of pink and orange in the skies recently. All right, Rucker comes into the game to finish it off. First pitch with the four-seam fastball in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Rucker on the mound, rookie phenom, first baseman Sal Stewart in the box. 0-1 pitch, hard hit ball into right field and foul, out of play. Top of the 9th inning with nobody on and no outs, 8-0 Mariners. Trident's up. Oh-2 pitch, fouled off and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 9th, 8-0 Seattle. 0-2 pitch, high and inside. Did he go? Yes, he did, and that is 1 away. And down goes Sal Stewart, the rookie phenom. 1 up and 1 down. And he can't believe it. But he did go around. I mean, it's hard to not go around when the ball's coming kind of at you, you know. Next up in the 3-hole, the former Athletic left fielder J.J. Bleday. And then on deck is Noel V. Marte. First pitch from Rucker to Bleday is fouled off, out of play, 0-1 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-1 pitch, fouled off towards first base, out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to J.J. Bleday. 0-2 pitch, high and away with a curveball by Rucker missing. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rucker to Blade. One-two pitch, and that is strike 3. Nice job there by Michael Rucker. And that is 2 away. And hopefully this will be the last batter. Filling in there for Spencer Steer in the 4-hole. Noelvi Marte pitch hitting. I mean, it's been, Victor Robles going 4 for 4. Best game in maybe his career. Best game as a Mariner. Cal Raleigh with a grand salami, getting home run number 10. A lot of things have gone right for the Mariners. Really, the only thing that hasn't is, Ellie De La Cruz throwing to first and hitting Julio in the butt cheek, and he had to exit the game. But other than that, that was pretty much it. Hopefully, Julio will be in the lineup tomorrow. Big swing and a miss there by Marte, high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes from Rucker to Marte. And now we're 1 strike away. Or 1 out away. 1 strike and 1 out away from a shutout. 0-2 pitch. Little dribbler towards third and foul. Everyone standing at T-Mobile. And again, it really started because of Cole Clutch Young. When we were down 3-0 in Game 2 versus the Giants, him hitting that 3-run jack in the 7th inning to tie it up 3-3. And then Julio with the sac fly scoring Robles from third, winning 4-3 in extras, really got the party started. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and that is ball game. Woo! Let's go. Let's go, baby. 4 for 4 day for Victor. Grand salami for Cal. Pitching staff not even giving up a run. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. And now Mariners up in first place, baby, by a half game after the Rangers lost today. And I like that. We'll go over the stats here quickly. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Let's go. Final score, Mariners 8, Reds 0. Tridents up. All right, let's go over the stats for both teams. Only 3 hits for the Reds, so there's not a whole lot to go over there. But we've been there, ourselves as Mariner fans. We know what that's about. All right, Ellie De La Cruz 0 for 3. Sal Stewart 0 for 4. JJ Bleday 0 for 4. Spencer Steer 0 for 2. Eugenio Suarez 0 for 3. Tyler Stevenson 0 for 3. And the only 3 hits were the 7, 8, and 9 hole hitters. Dane Myers 1 for 3. Edwin Arroyo 1 for 2. And Key Brian Hayes 1 for 3. And then let's go with the Mariners. All right, Randy Arozarena, 2 for 3 with a run. Julio Rodriguez, 1 for 3 with an RBI before he got hit on the butt cheek by Ellie De La Cruz and had to exit. Dominic Canzone, 1 for 4 with a run. Cal Raleigh, 1 for 5 with 5 RBIs and a grand salami. Great job. Josh Naylor, 1 for 5. Cole Clutch Young 0 for 3, but he'll get a hit tomorrow. Victor Robles, the game of his life, 4 for 4 with 2 runs. Great job. Luke Raley pinch hitting 1 for 2 with a run. And Colt Emerson 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. What a game. Incredible. Well, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very much. Again, we will be live tomorrow, obviously, for the Mariners and the Reds. And let's take a quick peek here. Okay, so game will be same time, same place. First pitch will be at 6:40 Pacific. And it'll be Chase Burns, who's 11-1, versus Luis Castillo, our worst pitcher, who's 3-8. So obviously it'll be a day of potential redemption for the Reds, but Hopefully Castillo pitches well, the bats come alive, and then we can get another victory, and hopefully Julio will be in the lineup as well. So it'll definitely be a challenging game tomorrow with Chase Burns on the mound, but the way that the Mariners have been playing, 3-game win streak, anything can happen. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Final score, Mariners 8, Reds 0, and I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Tridents up and go Mariners.